He never learned how to prove most of what he discovered, not because he couldn't, because he said proof wasn't the point. While, while every mathematician around him worked forward, step by step, toward an answer, he worked backward, starting from an answer he said had already arrived. If you have ever produced your best work in a state you couldn't explain or repeat on command, this is for you. Right now, an entire industry is trying to engineer flow states on demand. And one of history's strangest case studies already shows how far that idea can be pushed and where it breaks down. Srinivasa Ramanujan, working alone in the colonial era South India with almost no formal training, filled a notebook with thousands of results in a number theory and infinite series. He had no access to the mathematical He had no access to the mathematical literature most of his European peers took for granted, and by his own account, the result didn't come from a calculation in the way we usually picture it, they arrived often on waking already formed. That's the detail most retelling skip past. He described the formulas as being presented to him complete, and his task afterward was simple to write them down and verify them. The single claim has quietly unsettled mathematician and psychologist for over a century. He wasn't calculating, he was receiving. What actually produced that state and why it stopped working for almost everyone who tried to imitate it is where this gets uncomfortable. The The counterintuitive assertion from the opening resolves here. Ramanujan wasn't skipping proof out of laziness or arrogance. Formal proof in the Western academic sense was largely absent for his early education. What he had built instead, alone over years of obsessive private study using a single outdated textbook of theorems, was an internal sense for which mathematical statements were true before he had any formal way to demonstrate why. That the mechanism behind loop extended near total isolation didn't just remove distraction, it removed the guardrails that normally force a thinker to justify each step before taking the next one. Without those guardrails, intuition was allowed to run years ahead of proof. The isolation that made him extraordinary is the same isolation that may have killed him. When Ramanujan was brought to Cambridge in 1914 at the invitation of G.H. Hardy, he was moved out of the exact condition that had produced his work: isolation, self directed obsession, no, no institutional schedule, and into a rigid, socially demanding academic environment during wartime rationing in an unfamiliar climate. His death declined sharply over the following year. He died in 1920 at the age of 32. The environment that validated his genius to the world was not the environment that had produced it. He worked alone for years. The formulas arrived complete. Proof came after, not before. Isolation built the gift. Isolation may have cost him everything. Ramanujan wasn't the only mind history has recorded receiving answers